Benny penitently fitted the platinum chip between his fingers. How could such a small thing control the fate of New Vegas, of all the Mojave? But that face still haunted him, the contorted face of the courier that he had stepped on to reach his goal. Was it really worth everything he'd done, just to reach his goal? Maybe in a different life, under different circumstances, things could have gone better. They would have been on the same side, or maybe he had been more than allies with the handsome courier. Just maybe. Benny placed the platinum chip in his pocket coat and let out an exasperated sigh after filling a glass of his favorite bourbon. He stared out the window of his 13-story suite at the tops, watching the sunlight dance across the sand of the Mojave. Past the camps of driver Neffy and the other fiend leaders, he spotted a blue streak. Moving faster than any Deathclaw would have, it blazed past the fiend's camps, past the gunrunner's factory, and finally into Freeside. The glass of bourbon dropped to the floor. Benny's mouth agape. Surely it was a mirage, or perhaps something wrong with his drink. Nothing could move that fast. He stared out toward Freeside, waiting for anything to happen. A few moments had passed. Freeside, the strip, and it was all quiet. And Benny choked up the blue streak up to an illusion of the mind. As he turned to clean the fragments of his glass, a boom echoed throughout the strip, reverberating on his bones. A column of smoke billowed from the entrance of this strip. The gate to Freeside was blown open, and junkies were stabbing and shooting everywhere. Everything in sight. Benny turned and snatched his handgun off the nightstand and ran toward the elevator. He had to protect his home and the platinum chip from whoever was attacking. As the elevator doors creaked open, the room opened up to the lobby of the Tops. Benny noticed two things. First, no one in the casino was reacting to the destruction going on the strip, instead acting as nothing were wrong. And second, a naked man with a familiar face stood in the entranceway of the building. Even without noticing the hole above the man's right eyebrow, Benny recognized those chiseled cheekbones and piercing eyes in a second. As Benny stumbled over his words, the courier spoke up with a raspy voice, not unlike a ghoul, but to Benny, it was as beautiful as an angel's. Hey, I'll suck your dick for some jet. But Benny knew what the courier really meant. The romantic connotations of his message remained true. This is wrong, Benny declared. You were just an innocent courier that I killed, just to get my way. How could you have possibly loved me after I put you through? After all I've done? The courier spoke in that delightful, raspy tone that tugged at Benny's heartstrings. I'm still a courier, no. I could handle your package if there were some jet involved. Benny's heart melted under the generosity of this handsome stranger. I don't think I deserve this second chance, but if you do believe I do, meet me in my suite on the 13th floor. An hour had passed, and Benny continued to grow more depressed. The courier still hadn't shown up, and Benny was starting to feel betrayed. Just as he was about to blow out the candles he had lit to celebrate the occasion, the door swung open, and the courier stood there, unabated by clothing, leaving his beauty out for the world to see. Benny could not find the words to explain the love sensation that followed. Sensations that he had never felt, and techniques he had never heard, filled the long hours of the night. After the greatest night of his life, Benny cuddled up to his new lover, giving him his greatest compliment. "You're platinum, pussycat." The courier snuggled close to Benny and whispered softly in his ear, "I love the way you taste." Benny's eyes shot open. As pain shot through his torso, he looked down and saw a kitchen knife embedded between his ribs, and the courier greedily reaching in for a meal, with a fork in one hand and some Jet in the other. "I fucking love Jet!" the courier shouted triumphantly, with red running around his mouth and bits of Benny's belly in his teeth. As Benny's vision faded and his life embedded away, he managed to say one last thing to this perfect being who had taken everything away from him. "You killed me, baby. But not from a weapon or from hate, but I died from a broken heart." Right. So, everything here was not created by me, besides my own voice. The story you heard was a comment left on a video by a YouTuber named TheForgery's. The video is called "The Courier Delivers the Best Package for Benny." And the comment was created by a man named Jack Johnson. And my God, when I read this, I had to read it. I just had to. I couldn't help it. And I just fell in love with it. It's crazy how much detail someone puts into something so... a comment. Nice profile pic, by the way. Well, anyways, that's it for me.